It's been a while since I've seen a movie that truly impacted me the way The Truman Show did. It's an odd movie, like nothing I've ever seen before. The Truman Show somehow manages to blend comedy, drama, suspense, science fiction, satire, and so many other genres into a film that just works, like really well. There are so many aspects to the film, also, that leave room for interpretation, and very strong ones at that. From simple color design to religious symbolism, The Truman Show is quite possibly the most involved film I've ever seen. It's a shame I'm only 20 years too late to the party, but either way, I decided I wanted to make a small series out of all the interesting messages and interpretations in The Truman Show. Today, I will be tackling the color theory and symbolism of the film. In one of my previous videos, I quickly ran through Black Swan and the colors it used symbolically. I didn't really explain the general practice of using colors as symbols and figured I would take this time now to do that. Color symbolism has had a long and interesting history in terms of both color interpretations and reasons for those interpretations. Some of the earliest examples of color symbolism can be found as early as 90,000 BC. Since then, color symbolism can be seen all throughout history. Throughout the Middle Ages, color rose to prominence through Christianity and the associations with the different liturgical seasons, particularly the colors white, red, blue, and gold. Color symbolism begins to take a more solid and scientific form by the 19th century, specifically through Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's book, Theory of Colors. As we reach the modern day, we run into the issue of the fact that colors mean different things for different cultures. For example, white, while representing purity and marriage in Western cultures, can be interpreted as representing death and mourning in Eastern cultures. Green can range from greed, to nature, to being cheated on, to being given permission, to generosity. In ancient Eastern civilizations, blue was used to ward off evil spirits, whereas in modern-day Western countries, it represents peace, tranquility, and harmony. Looking at these differences, we can come to the conclusion that while many colors have organic meanings, like green grass and blue sky, many other symbolic relationships come from psychological and cultural associations that we make. For example, when we associate blue with the sky, we make quite a leap into associating blue with relaxation or sadness or feelings in general. Researchers from all over have attempted finding neurological reasons for color associations, and while I won't be going into all that jazz, I can say that there is definitely something interesting to be had there. While this might seem long-winded and unrelated, I felt it was important to show that color symbolism does have a basis in history, and I'm not just pulling all of this out of thin air. That being said, let's get on with it. So, for those of you unfamiliar with The Truman Show, I recommend you watch it, not only because it's a great movie, but also because I'm about to spoil it all. A quick synopsis for those of you who don't really care: The Truman Show is about a man named Truman living what he thinks is a normal life, but is actually a giant television set, and he's the star of the show. He slowly comes to the realization that nothing is as it seems and tries to escape. I think that's enough. Everyone ready? Good. Here we go. At the beginning of the film, Truman is wearing dull, lifeless colors, while underneath, he wears brighter colors such as yellow, albeit still dull. As he walks to work, you can see that most other people are just wearing dull colors. Red can often be interpreted as passion and yellow as happiness. The appearances of these colors imply that whoever is wearing these colors are real people, people who are allowed to interact with Truman as if they were an active part of his life. If you notice, most people who Truman interacts with are wearing these two colors, and if they're not, they aren't supposed to be. In fact, a little while later in the movie when Truman's dad is being taken away, every obstacle he runs into is not someone wearing dull brown colors, but real-life people wearing red and yellow. Another interpretation could be that anyone wearing these colors represents artificiality, including Truman. This is supported by the fact that later in the movie, when Truman meets Sylvia, he is wearing all dull and brown colors. Brown is symbolic of multiple things, including earth, stability, wholesomeness, and many other things. Truman is at his most whole with those outside of this world. Now, yes, Sylvia is wearing red as per the guidelines of the world, but when she and Truman run to the beach, she takes off her red shawl, as if stripping the artificiality keeping her in this world. Now would be as good a time as any to explain why darker is better in Truman's case. In my Black Swan video, The black swan had more malicious interpretations than the white swan. There are frequent glimpses of people not in Truman's world, such as the bar, Sylvia, and Kristoff's control center. Kristoff and Sylvia are both wearing dark colors, not with malicious intentions, but with the interpretation that they are both fully aware of the ruse that is going on, and that it is, in fact, a ruse. The people in the bar, on the other hand, are all wearing some sort of red or yellow, showing that even though they know they are watching a show, they are fully invested in it and its participants. This supports the second interpretation of the colors in that red and yellow represent artificiality and brown and black represent wholesomeness and truth. This can be seen at the end of the film when Truman plans to escape. He wears bright yellow and red all day, giving off the ruse that he himself is giving into the artificiality of it all, until he actually escapes by boat. Here, you can see he's wearing the darkest colors he has the whole time. In fact, the same hue as Kristoff. Truman no longer accepts the ruse he has lived and walks out of his colorful world into the dark uncertainty that awaits him. And that's really it. The Truman Show has a deceptively simple color palette that lays the groundwork for most symbolic interpretation to come. From here on, The Truman Show can be interpreted to mean something metaphorical about consumerism, mass media, conformity, existentialism, religion, and so many other things. Now, those are going to be the tough ones. Tune in next time when we tackle one of these. I haven't really decided which one would be good yet. Have a great rest of the day, and thanks for watching.